Tennessee residents are lining up to get their real ID ahead of the summer travel season. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mary Beth Mangrum.
And I'm Josh Rober. To get one, you'll need to bring several forms of identity to a driver's license center in Tennessee.
But as more applicants look to get this real ID, the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security says there's a wait time that comes with it. And a spokesperson for that department tells me for those without travel plans, you may be able to hold off on getting one for now.
We're not calling it a deadline in Tennessee. We're calling it an implementation date.
While it's not required to have one, the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security says real IDs will soon be used in the state. It comes after security concerns brought to light post 9/11, which caused the passage of the Real ID Act in 2005.
About 20 years ago, after September 11th, the Department of Homeland Security put out the initiative about having to have a secure ID or a real ID.
On May 7th, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security says these real IDs will be implemented across the nation.
You can still travel with a passport. What we're seeing in Tennessee is a lot of long lines, honestly, and particularly in the larger metropolitan areas.
On April 5th, the State Department of Safety and Homeland Security dedicated 19 driver services centers to serve people who made appointments for these IDs.
The individuals will have to bring their Tennessee driver license, and they will also have to bring the required documents for obtaining a real ID.
But what all do you need to get one?
Birth certificate, you can bring a passport too, that counts to prove your identity, and then 2 proofs of Tennessee residency.
Previously, there were some printing problems that caused a delay in the production of these IDs, meaning some early applicants could get those IDs after May 7th.
The contractors are back up and running, and it takes a normal 20 days or so to get your real ID in the mail. I think those issues had been resolved, but there is a heavier volume now with this real ID push to get to the finish line here on May the 7th.
But with those concerns addressed, Jason Pack, the communications director for the State Department, says not having a real ID by that date won't impact much for most Tennesseans.
May 7th is coming. It doesn't mean that you can't get a real ID after that. You can get a real ID anytime. And if you don't plan to travel, there's no need to be waiting in lines right now just to get one by that date if you don't need it.
Meantime, the Better Business Bureau is urging the public to be aware of any website claiming to issue a real ID without an in-person consultation. They say those websites are likely scams and should be reported to the Bureau.